Hey everybody, Doom here from Dungeons and Doom Biscuit. Welcome back. I need to make a piece of scatter for tonight's game, something that's multi-level. I'm not doing that. I'm just going to stack random stuff I have and try to make it look big and imposing. I'm roughing up a CD here, a CD. This is how we used to listen to music after we were done with 8-tracks, cassettes, and albums. Now everything, of course, is digital file, like MP3s and stuff. But this was the Beastie Boys Solid Gold Hits with What You Want, Brass Monkey, Check It Out, No Sleep Till Brooklyn, Hey Ladies, Pass the Mic, An Open Letter to New York City, Root Down, Shake Ya Rump, Intergalactic, Sure Shot, Body Movin', the Fatboy Slim remix, Triple Trouble, Sabotage, and Fight for Your Right. So everything but Girls and No Sleep Till Brooklyn and Paul Revere. So now that I have that, what I want to do is I want to cut some cardstock to fit on here and be a layer. I think instead of cardstock, I'm just going to use some of this thicker cardboard from this coffee box. Because it should do a good job. So let me get this cut to where we can work with it a little more easily. And let's see what we can get going. So we want to super glue this onto here or here. Let's do this side. I just want to make sure I have a good bond. I need a glue stick. Da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Let's hope my glue gun works today. I didn't get a chance to... I went and looked for one, but I couldn't find the right one. I wanted this one. So far, so good. Get that on there, nice and sturdy like that. Now let's cut this out around here. Just like that. And then let's make this look like metal panels. Half-assedly. Let's get some tin cardstock or something. This is a card from some kind of magic set. This will work nicely for what I want. Let's cut that there, and cut that there. And that'll make some interesting little terrain variation. Okay, something like that. Now this is a vacuum that my wife bought for cleaning up little spills, and it is not working correctly. So I think we can steal some of the parts from this for sure to make our thing. Look at that. So this could be useful-ish. Something like that, maybe. Comes with this cool piece that does not go on there, but I'm going to put it on there. Or will that fit on here, maybe? No, it will not fit on here. That would be cool. It must actually have gone here originally or something, or not. No, but I can definitely force it on there. Does it go on the back here? I don't know. I must be missing a piece. Yeah, definitely it's not supposed to be there. So anyways, I can use this. I can pull this little piece of tape off. I'm going to put that on there. To do that, I'm just going to get some glue. Like that. I'm going to push it to the edge. Just like that. Then I'm going to snug it down with a little extra glue along the corners. And there's a little bit of a gap there. And I'm not sure how I want to fill that just yet, or if I even want to. So this piece obviously is cool, but it's not going to fit. This piece would fit. So let's get it on here. And I'm just going to rub that around and snug that up. Get good contact and let that cool. I got to cover that little hole up. Too easy. I'm going to curl this. Just like that. Slap it over that hole. Just like that. Cool, cool, cool. All right. Now this has that little interesting thing there on that side. And not too much more interesting about it. Let's make a way for people to get up and down. Da, 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 da. Let me get a skewer. Let's get a skewer and make some kind of way to get up there. Maybe let's put a platform here. So to make my platform, I'm just going to do something real easy. I'm going to cut a groove so it kind of sits there. I'm going to try to see how flat that sits. So if I put it there, it sits pretty flat. I'm going to get my glue and put that there like that. I'm just going to smear that around, get a good connection, and let it harden in place. Get a little bit of reinforcement on that on each side. Okay, then I'm just going to cut some granny grating to be my platform. Now granny grating is not notoriously sturdy, so I'm just going to throw that on a piece of cardboard, about like that. And that's going to add some interesting texture and make that strong. And then I want that to curve in a little bit there. So it bonds a little better. So we're just going to get a little bit there. And a little bit there. And we're going to shove that on there. Try to make it flush. It's okay if it bends down some, like that, and go down a little bit. That won't hurt. It's up a little bit, but it'll be fine. It's pretty parallel for the most part. So that's going to do that. And then let's get our ladder of how these people climb. To do that, I'm just going to get my snippers. I'm going to cut two of these approximately the same height. I'm going to kind of get an idea where those sit. I'll make it a little wide. Vaguely comical. Like that. Get those into place. And I'm going to just kind of get some glue around that. I'm going to walk it around that glue a little bit and get it bound to exactly how I want it to sit, just like that. And that should be sturdy for now. Then I need some cross beams for that, some steps. You know what, cardboard would be better. So I'm going to cut some cardboard. About that width. And make some steps. And what would be the easiest way to do that? Let's get a little notch in here, cut into each side. like that. Yep, just like that. And that will be sturdy-ish when that dries. We'll do the same thing here. Notch, notch, notch. Be a little smarter about it this time. There we go. I'm going to bring that up a little bit. Then I'm going to come around the outside and tighten that up a little bit. Not tighten it up, but, you know, secure it a little better. I don't care how perfect it is. A little bit of notch, 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 notch. And we're going to get that in there. Move that up pretty good. Just like that at the top. A little bit of glue on the sides. Stir that up. And that'll be nice. Okay. Now, we don't want people falling off this thing, so we need some kind of railing. So the railing is going to be an easy thing. All we need to do is get a couple pieces of popsicle stick. Or, I'm sorry, not popsicle stick. Whatever this stuff is. One of these. These are skewer. Get a piece of skewer. Get some glue. Get it on there. Rub it around a little bit. Get a good spot. Back and forth. Back and forth. Get contact as on many surface areas as you can. This one's on the corner, so we're not going to get a whole lot of surface connection, but we're going to get some. Okay. Same thing over here on this corner. We're not going to get a whole lot, but we're going to get some. Okay. And then we're going to use some cardboard here. If I can find some that's going to be long enough. Just like that. Decent sized glob. Get it on behind there. Rub it around a little bit. Something like that. Sturdy, sturdy. I'm going to push it over that way a little bit, some. Then I'm going to cut this one to be a railing here. Get a little bit of glue on here. A little bit of glue on here. I'm going to shove this back in that corner. Just like that. Get as much surface area as I can. And then I'm going to need another piece of stick to be the front here. Because it would be nice to have a railing there, right? But maybe I want to do this a little different. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this, or rip this apart to be corrugated. Just like that. Perfect. Just like that. Corrugated metal. Nah, I need to do something else. Hold on, let me think here. Let's get this straw. For those of you that still know what straws are, I know some of us don't have them anymore. I'm sorry about that. Sorry about your luck. Okay, I'm going to shove that on there. Trying to get good contact. Okay, just like that. And I'm going to make sure it's pretty straight here. Get a little bit on there. Okay. Snip off this excess down here. Okay. just like that. I'm going to let that cool in place. Get a little bit more over here to sturdy it up. Just like that. A little bit more here. Just to sturdy that up. Then where's that piece of corrugated? Then I'm going to mount that corrugated on here. At an angle. Whoops. Maybe at an angle. Like this. So I'm going to get a little bit there. And a little bit there. And I'm going to lightly push that down and get a good bond for my corrugated. Then I'm going to get a piece of metal here. Get a little bit there. And a little bit there. I'm going to mount that in place. That burns a little bit. That's okay. Okay. Now let's get the blowtorch and clean up our spider webs because we don't need those. Helps if there's juice. Okay. Clean up our spider webs somewhat here. Not a lot of spider webs it looks like, but there's some. Okay. Now we want to put this on a bottle cap so we can paint it easily. There we go. So all I'm going to do is get a line across here and a line across here and make a nice X so it's stable and sturdy. And if you remember, we had that gap here that I wasn't worried about, and I don't know if I am worried about it, but what I can do is I can just grab a couple pieces of cardboard. Oh, my camera's way down too low. You can't see half the shit I'm doing. Sorry, guys. Girls, everybody. Let's shove that in there like that. Then I'm going to get some glue in here. I'm going to force that down in there the best I can. Just like that. And that's going to make sure there's no play there. Alright, so I'm pretty happy. There's a couple things I'd like to do to make this look a little cooler. I have this pen piece here that is broken. This would make a cool addition. Can I get this stuff out of here without a lot of work? Maybe. No, apparently I cannot. Alright. But I can get these out pretty easily. I know this from my years as a child, disassembling everything I could get my hands on. You know what? The springs are in there, and they're really not hurting anything, so we're just going to leave them. We're going to mount this on top right here. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to put it here. And I'm just going to get a little bit of glue there, kind of hold it somewhat, make it a little sturdier. That's all. I'm going to twist that in back into place, let that cool, get my spider webs. Alright, so we want this all to hold paint. And there's some rust in my panel there. So that's an easy, quick build. Probably 20 minutes-ish. Let me look at the timer. 20 minutes, 16 seconds. The ground's a little boring. Again, too easy. Get some random stuff. Shove it down. Maybe have a stack of random stuff that's pushed against this here. Who knows? You're the one telling the story, not me. Tell your story. Tell your players what they need to know about this area or what this device could be. Give them the opportunity to not understand what the shit is going on in your world. I have these pieces here. And I think that you can make this from a T. It does fit in there. Okay, so I have a thought. I don't know how good of a thought it is. I have a spacer here. This came with that. This came off of that. I'm going to put that in there like this. And I'm going to get that centered. Get some glue on that. And I'm going to put that on there like that. There we go. And I don't even know what the hell this is from. It says 9A on it, so I assume it's a battery thing or something. I don't know. It's something. Let's get a piece and put it on there. A button maybe on the front of that. Let me get a button. Yep, here's a button. Get a little bit of glue there. We already had some. We'll get a little bit more. Get a button on there. And make that like an industrial fan coil of some sort, maybe. Or industrial fan, not fan coil. Burn my thumb a little bit, because I like that. That makes the craft feel a little more real to me. I'm going to dab a little super glue down in here to hold all that, because I am concerned that the hot glue will not be sturdy enough for this. Whoops. There we go. I'm going to sprinkle a little baking soda on that. Where's the baking soda? I lost it. There it is. Oh, that's not baking soda. I lost my baking soda. Can't do no baking without it. Alright, give me a second to think here. Where did I put the damn thing? Baking soda, where you at? Doo-dah, doo-dah. I can't find just where you're at, baking soda. It's lost. It's lost forever. I have no baking soda to put on that super glue. That was a crisis. Let me see where I could have put it. No idea. There it is. Ugh. Get a little baking soda on there. Sturdy this up. Get it down its side the best I can. Pardon me. You would think I inhaled baking soda, but I'm actually just coughing. Cool, cool, cool. So we have this industrial looking fan thing. I'm going to put it on the end of that. Just like that. Okay. Now, you could shore all this up with a little bit of super glues here and there. Get a little super glue in the gaps. It'll help it hold some. Only in the spots where you're worried about it coming apart. This is not crucial to the design. But when you're dealing with some of this stuff, if it gets a little bit warm or a little bit whatever, it could come apart. Especially when you're dealing with plastic here. Okay. And there's some dirt in there that I didn't clean out because I'm lazy. Let me get a couple drops on there. I'm going to let that run down the side. You'll see in a minute why I'm doing that. Now I'm going to get some baking soda in the spots where I just did my super glue. And I'm going to sprinkle it around, and it's going to add a little bit of extra love to the spots, a little sturdiness to the spots where there's super glue. Just make it a little more permanent and add a little bit of decor, if you will. Okay. There's a little bit in that part there, and we got a little bit down here in this hole. Okay. All right, there it is. I'm going to spray paint this thing black, and I'm going to hit it with a little bit of primer red. I do want to cover that top part of that, and I think I'm just going to throw a super glue cap on that, because I got plenty of them. To cover that piece up and make it a little more interesting, that's all. Just a little bit more interesting. I'm going to spray paint this black and spray paint primer red. Primer red is brown. It adds a good rusty kind of undercoat. And then we'll come back and paint this thing up. So if you like what I'm doing here on the channel, please like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell icon, leave a comment, and all that happy crappy that helps the channel grow. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.